What's going on, my creative collective? Welcome to your August 23rd daily creative reading. Let's hop right on in here and see where this day takes us, okay? Spirit, what messages do you have for my daily creatives for August 23rd, please? Messages for August 23rd. Messages for August 23rd, please. You are magic. Some dragonfly energy there. And celebrate life. We'll read that afterwards. Okay. Dearest you, there are times where loss is a part of life. Let me just move this here. Sorry about that in your ears, folks. There are times when loss is a part of life. Sometimes a loss is welcome, like when you leave a situation not in alignment with your highest good. Sometimes a loss is sudden and painful, like when a loved one crosses over to our dimension. Regardless of the nature of the loss and your control over it, your experience is asking to be acknowledged. Tears are necessary, as is grief. When you repress the natural expression of loss and try to move on too quickly, the unprocessed pain haunts you in destructive ways. We don't want that for you. Instead, let your heart break open wide. Feel the loss and integrate it. See the beauty that was, the lessons learned, and know that as you let go of what is past, ever more of you remains. It gets better, we promise. Your heart expands with more compassion for the world than ever before. Love heals all. We are loving you, sending you love always and forever. Beautiful. Okay. I almost get this imagery of like the decompression chambers coming back up from yesterday's reading. It's quite interesting. 3 of Wands. Two of Cups. That came out yesterday too. Oh my goodness. Okay. We had the Queen of, this happened yesterday too. Okay, so yesterday we had the Queen of Cups. So we have Judgment, 6 of Cups, 7 of Swords, and the King of Cups. I'm going to set that here again. This is so interesting. It's kind of becoming like a regular part of this spread unintentionally. I almost get that this is your kind of judgment call, like your decision about the perspective that you're going to take of a situation, right? This is very much in alignment with this card. It's like integrating losses and healing, right? That's kind of what this is telling me, is that there's been a healing process, as if to emphasize the point. It's a repeating energy, but that tells me that that's where some measure of these energies are for you. So we have the 3 of Wands, the 2 of Cups. What else, Spirit? What other messages do we have for my daily creatives, please? The Sun. Wow. Okay, so I feel like the call to adventure is really like leaning into your joy. Like you can surf the wave. You can surf the waves that are coming. So don't hold back is what I'm getting. Don't hold back. Be that in relationship, be that, projects that make your heart sing. It's just, this is really an incredible energy. So lean into it. Don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid of the new is what I'm hearing as well. Don't be afraid of the new. These two kind of came out together. Interesting. This is your energy, I think, being pulled in 2 different directions by your thoughts. The new is here. Leap, right? That's the new. The new. Take the leap, but don't. Take the leap, but don't. Take the leap, but so it's like this. It's like pulling at your energy. I feel though that what could become a tower if it goes unchecked is just the nature of that push and pull. So it's the Judgment card is here. I think kind of saying to make a decision either way. Choose to worry, yes, but be in the worry. Don't beat yourself up for not being in this Fool energy of taking a leap. Don't be in this Fool energy and then go to this energy immediately because you feel guilty for taking the leap, because you feel like you need to do it a certain way, right? This is about integrating the energy into one or the other. If you're going to worry, just worry then. Let yourself be in the worry and ask what it has to teach you. Don't fragment your energy and split it. Um, don't fragment your energy and split it. Okay. So interesting. These sort of dual sides of things, like staying kind of fixed in things, but I almost feel like this is a little bit of releasing control. And that's kind of your antagonist or your protagonist position. I think it's in your best interest to release control right now and to move towards things in a state of surrendered flow, as opposed to an anchored, like this is almost, it's Aries energy, but it's almost coming across as like an anchor. Like I see it in a similar shape. Perhaps a, cosmological or astrological anchor could be seen in that way too. Spirit, what's the antagonist position for this day, the 23rd? The star. Wow. So I think it's like whatever gets in the way of your hope. Like how do you get in the way of your hope? Right? And that's where I feel like this is your the best thing that you can do is surrender to the flow of things, regardless of whether they're going where they're going, regardless of those energies, be in the flow, because that flow state truly is, I think, how you get to this new beginning. And new beginning can mean so many different things. I think what the new beginning really means, what I take it to mean is that it's sort of you leaning into your best version, your best self, your highest vision. So what have you been envisioning? What have you been dreaming up for yourself? What are those things? Because this is the time where the more things are going to start to, there's like a momentum that's built up here. That's helping to facilitate these leaps. And I think it's like maybe not having enough hope in your dreams, not having enough hope in what's possible, right? Like in this sort of North Star guidance sense too, right? It's dreaming a little bit too small. Yeah, and as if I said, so that was on the split. Four of Pentacles and Queen of Swords, like dreaming too small. Dreaming too small. Eight of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords. Wow. Ace of Cups. These two came out together. Four of Swords and Page of Pentacles. Okay, so I'm feeling like the main challenge here is it again. There's like it's a lot of split energy where it's like doing this work. I feel like it's like it feels like a grind, and not like a grind that you can lose yourself in terms of just allowing flow. It's like losing yourself in the grind of something because it's like there's an identity that you've built up. It's almost like a mortar and pestle that you're taking to your heart, and don't do that. Like I feel like that's not how you get into this Ace of Cups place within your heart center. What I feel like is there's the Ten of Swords here where it's the release, like a lot of release energy, the freedom, right? The freedom to fly. And this isn't talking about commitment. This is talking about allowing yourself to really spread your wings, right? Spread your wings. And again, I'm seeing wings with this here, this Four of Swords, rest, right? Little rest and recuperation. Yeah, it's like there's this part here. So I'm just going to read this to you here again from the first one. Tears are necessary, as is grief. When you repress the natural expression of loss and try to move on too quickly, the unprocessed pain haunts you in destructive ways. We don't want that for you. Instead, let your heart break open wide. Feel the loss and integrate it. See the beauty that was, the lessons learned, and know that as you let go of what is past, ever more of you remains. And I feel like that's really, it's like let your heart open wide. Let it open wide, my friends. And that's what I feel like is happening. It's opening wide, right? It's opening wide. But I think this is, as much as yesterday was about the big picture, I think this is about giving yourself some rest as well. Like this is, kind of investing in your energy, giving yourself that little bit of rest right now. So let's clarify these energies here. Okay. Spirit, what messages do you have for my daily creatives for August 23rd, please? Messages from the daily creatives for August 23rd. Okay, so we have the Knight of Swords clarifying. We also have the Hermit energy, as well as, let's see here, Spirit, what additional messages do you have for my daily creatives, please? The King of Swords, lots of clarity. Oof, lots of clarity and I think like clarity of mind, but then that clears up the heart as well. Oops, clarity of mind and heart. Again, the Queen of Wands came out similar to yesterday. So what I'm getting here, oops, hang on. Ugh. What I'm getting here is the Knight of Swords, the Hermit, the King of Swords, the Five of Swords, and the Queen of Wands. There's a lot of sword energy here. And this is where I think that there's like a difference in momentum, right? So like there's the Knight of Swords, which is fast moving energy, moving forward, ambition. And then it's like, wait a minute, and then going within, right? And then it's like charging forward and clarity, and then conflict that comes up, Five of Swords. Right. And I think it's because maybe there just needs to be more time for rest, more rest, giving yourself that rest, that additional pause. Right. And really lending yourself. I think it's like that's how we give ourselves grace. That's really how we give ourselves grace. And the Queen of Wands energy here is, I think, about that sort of it's like where this maintenance of hope and how we experience and express it, the maintenance of hope, how that finds us. This is almost like the spiritual, like that 5D expression of it made 3D, right? What are we nurturing? How are we nurturing our projects, ourselves, our ideas? And I think that hope is what allows creative sparks to burst forth and flourish. Hope is the energy that connects us to the possibilities that come with creativity. That's what makes it possible. That's what makes it a thing, right? So I think that's beautiful energy. Let's pull some affirmation cards here. A little bit shorter of a read today than yesterday, that's for sure. A lot of it's very straightforward, though. Like, I think there's a lot of opportunities coming. And opportunities just in the sense that it's going to be... it's opportunities to face yourself and let go. And let go in the sense of... releasing what doesn't serve you, releasing that energy, right? Spirit, what messages do you have for my daily creatives for August 23rd, please? I am willing to love myself. Yeah, it's kind of like facing yourself, right? Look in the mirror and say to yourself, I love you. I really love you. Don't be shy. It's just another way of saying life loves you. Okay, so then let's do this here. Spirit, what messages do you have for my daily creatives, please? Messages for my daily creatives, please. You have more options than you realize. And I think this is about, I think that this is connected to that Star and Queen of Wands energy, right? Star and Queen of Wands. It's like you have way more options than you know right now. And I think this is about the restoration of hope that then translates into action, right? And, some people feel like I get like this too. Like if I feel like too many people are watching, sometimes I freeze because I'm like, it's an old response where I'm like, why are they watching me, right? So, it's not like an anxiety or paranoia thing. It's like feeling like a lot of pressure to put things together in a way that matches the energy that I feel for it internally. So it's a little bit of perfectionism too, yes, but there's just that sort of response. So I think it's like you have more options than you realize is sort of an invitation back into hope. It's an invitation back in. So it's pulling your gaze away from the waves and perhaps even what you thought the flow would be, and then bringing it back into something a little bit more nourishing for yourself. If this has to do with relationship, this Two of Cups and the Ace of Cups here as well, and the Fool and the Star, like these are, these tend to be more relationship cards. I feel that this is... if you're in a relationship, and this is like a way of deepening that, I think this is about sinking into where you want the next phase of commitment to go, what you want that to look like, how you want that to shape up. And I'm feeling a lot like this energy here is also about, I feel that this is also quite a bit about new as well. This could be moving past fears to get into dating again, coming away from a period of like hermiting yourself. And I think that stepping into this King of Swords energy, this is coming across, this Five of Swords is more like imposter syndrome, like feeling like you're not enough. But the call is to kind of step into, and if this isn't dating, this is similar to projects and work. It's about stepping into a more confident place, coming from ambition and understanding that you wouldn't be given, you wouldn't be given ideas that you could not also bring to full execution thereof, or you wouldn't be given ideas that couldn't take off under your, under your unique magic that you bring, this spark that you bring to what you do. So it's remembering that in the details as well. So celebrate life. Okay. Dearest you, we need you to know that you can change things miraculously for you and everyone and make things right. It's never too late. Forgiveness is about releasing yourself from the burden of an old story, one in which you were a victim of someone else's actions or your own. I think this is what this is here. That healing, right? That healing from the first card, taking that into consideration. So I'll hold these up if I can while I read this here. Sorry if it shakes a little bit. There we go. Forgiveness is about releasing yourself from the burden of an old story, one in which you were a victim of someone else's actions or your own. You don't need to carry this around. You can set yourself free. Even advocating for good because of this experience requires your forgiveness to be effective. Forgiveness is never about condoning things that were done. It's about letting yourself off the hook from carrying the burden. Resentment and hurt are like viruses that spread to others, and that is the opposite of what you really desire, right? Imagine what your life would be like without the burdens that you carry when you do not forgive. You can do it. Everyone over here believes in you and adores you. And that's really it. Like, this is like, it's Judgment, Six of Cups, Seven of Swords, King of Cups. This tells me that you're forgiving. This tells me that you're in that heart space. And moving forward with the placement of the Star, the Sun, the Two of Cups, the Ace of Cups, the Page of Pentacles, and the Four of Swords. It's all a healing energy. So I think that today the big lesson here, and big lesson can apply to something as simple as someone who cuts you off on the road. Could apply to something as simple as like letting something that someone says go, like just saying, you know what, I don't need to respond to this. I don't need to. I don't have to show up to every fight that I'm invited to. No, thank you. Right? It's about just setting up those boundaries for yourself, and leaning into that energy. So yeah, excellent. This is great. So this was your reading. If this resonated, give it a like and subscribe. I'd love to have you on the channel if you are not already. And if you are from my subscriber base, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. So thank you so much. And wherever this finds you on the time space continuum, morning, afternoon, or night, I hope it finds you very well, my friends. Take care.